So Wiggles, how you doing today?
I am good. I will not lie. I am nervous. I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'm gonna try my best.
No reason to be nervous. It's just
I don't know. I don't know. It's like so different than streaming because when I stream, I'm doing my own thing. Now it's like, oh my god, I actually have to make sense for once.
no, you're gonna do just fine. So just to get things started, let's know a little bit about yourself. If you want to say where you're from, what do you do for hobbies, how long have you been playing Warhammer?
I am originally from Czech Republic, but I've been living in the United States for almost 4 years now. For the hobbies, well, I have my dog. That's a hobby. Then, well, I play video games a lot. Um, I am kind of boring person, so I don't really have much hobbies. I guess I'm thinking. Is food considered as a hobby? I don't know.
Anything that you enjoy to me counts as a hobby.
Yeah, well, I like to eat. Okay, I should not say that. Anyways, I've been streaming. Um, so I started on Mixer. I actually didn't start on the Twitch. I started on Mixer when it was actual thing back in the day. Then I had a break because Mixer sold out, and then I went to the Twitch, which I actually started streaming Return of Reckoning like 2 or 3 years ago. Then I took a break, probably about 2 years, and I just recently come back in January to stream again. But I've been playing Return of Reckoning for a while. I just have a long breaks between it. But yeah, other than that, I don't know. I think that's about it about me.
So you said you started a Warhammer or Return to Reckoning a while ago, then you took a break. When did you start on the server?
So first time when we played was when was just like the tier one server,
Oh,
or server, and it was just tier one really, and then when you could just level it up through the PVE. Then we took a break because we felt like it's super buggy. I never played live though. I never played live. I didn't even know this game existed when it actually came live. So, but I'm happy to find the private server because I mean this is like one of the best games.
so you've been here almost since the inception of the server.
Yes.
That's awesome. And you said you do not play live, so there's no way that you can do a comparison of the two.
Yeah, well, my guild. This is the reason why I play this game because my guild used to play this game live. So this is the reason why we know, or I play this game because of them because they're like, oh, there's a private server, you should go check it out. So this is pretty much the reason why I play this game now. So they do give me the info about like how it was back in the life and how is it now. Like, what's the difference? Is kind of
Okay, so you have no firsthand experience on how it is, though.
no.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Do you play any other games besides Warhammer?
Uh, well, I am like I either play MMOs or like RPGs. I will try to play different games, but I suck at those, so I try not to. Well, I started my first game. I grew up on was Diablo 2, really. Then I kind of got into the MMO scenes. The longest MMO I ever played, I would say, was Guild Wars 2. That's how I kind of got to like making videos and stuff because I used to make videos for my guild, like like highlights of the fights, stuff like that. So it's kind of eventually led to a streaming in general.
So you have a pretty vast experience and knowledge of MMOs, games, and even streaming slash maybe even YouTube.
Yeah, I used to do just like a highlights video for our guild, like fight wise. I just recently started to do guide videos for Return of Reckoning as well, because one thing I noticed the most, it's like especially when we get like new players, everybody's super confused because there's not really like any like certain guideline of like what you should be doing, and it can get really confusing if you just go blind into this game. So I'm trying to start like helping out the new players to be able to get into the game and not quit before they leveled up to 40.
That's awesome that you're trying to help the community out so much. Um, your guild, does your guild do this with you, or is it just more of a one person thing?
Well, they helped me out with the info because I said I'm not gonna claim that I know everything. I do not. I make sure, like, when I make a video, they check it out, make sure I didn't forget anything, or if they think that I should edit something, just make sure it's like good, like and understandable for people who would not know what to do, if it makes sense and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool. Do you share this information or on the forums, or where do you share it at?
You mean like my videos
Yeah,
or?
yeah, like your
Yeah,
videos.
yeah. So they are posted on like the
There probably is a delay, Ragnar.
beginner guide section on the
I
forums,
can't
and they
help
are
that.
also posted on the Discord in the content creator section.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you do that. So now let's talk a little bit more about Warhammer itself for you. So what draws you to the Warhammer? Since you play games like Guild Wars 2 and other MMOs or other games, what draws you to Warhammer?
I would say it's the PvP. It's actually funny because so I met my guild in 2012, and I was actually like really hardcore PvEer. And this guild actually is the reason why I do love PvP now, because they teach me everything. Everything I know, like PvP wise, it's thanks to them. And I just love PvP now. I hate doing any kind of PvE. I do it, but I just find it super boring now. So I'm all about the PvP life. I just love killing people. I love them when they rage that I killed them. It's just so satisfying.
So you love PvP, then why are you on this game? Because no one PvPs here. I'm kidding.
I
That's a bad joke. That's a bad joke.
know.
I'm kidding. I'm just teasing. So I noticed off topic here. I noticed that yesterday I was streaming and you were running with a shaman, and you happened to find me out in the water. What is up with that?
I didn't know it's gonna come out. I did so know it. We were just talking about it here. Like once we finished the fight, we were like, "Oh my god, he's gonna think that we actually stream snipe him or something." So the thing was, we noticed Orders having almost a 2-star, and we were in the Ironclad, and Order was blocking all the paths to the keep. So we were like, well, let's go and run. Let's go through the water. We should be clear. And out of the nowhere, we see you guys fighting in there. I was like, oh my god, what a lucky day, man. Who would expect anybody in the water behind the keep? It was so hilarious. Oh, man.
Sure, sure. So it was just coincidence that you found us out in the middle of the ocean.
Totally coincidence.
Okay,
Honestly.
that's fair enough. I'm teasing. I'm teasing you. Teasing you. Okay, so what about the Warhammer game? I mean, PvP in itself is what draws you to this game. Is there anything else that draws you to this game besides just the PvP?
I will be honest, I have no huge knowledge about the lore of Warhammer, so I would have to say just really like the style of the game is what draws me into it. It's honestly surprisingly fluent game from like how old it actually is. Um I mean, it can feel clunky sometimes when you get stuck on like the rock you can even see and stuff, but I think it's one of the best PvP games around, to be honest, because nowadays PvP games are just not as good, I feel like.
Okay, so I've never played Guild Wars 2. Do you prefer the Warhammer experience or the Guild Wars 2 experience?
Oh, well, this is gonna be a tough one because Guild Wars 2 has probably one of the best combat systems in the game, like in like gaming MMOs. But they broke the game by the way they try to change it. So if they would bring back like old like the when the game came out, it would be awesome game. The problem is they tried to fix on a fix on a fix and fix, and they broke the game itself. So I think board game has something. If they would make a game with a combat system from Guild Wars 2 with like the way Warhammer is, like PvP wise, oh my god, it would be like the best game ever.
Have you ever tried games like ESO or New World?
Yes, I did play New World. Actually, I played New World before I came back to Warhammer, and I gave up on that game too because PvP sucked in it. I just hate flag on, flag off games. I think it's stupid. Like if you make a PvP game, I mean it's on, no matter where you go, just have it on, no flagging, no flagging off, It's just I don't like this. It's like if you play PvP game, then just it's on. That's it.
I'm right there with you. It's exactly the same reason why I quit New World. I was tired of running in the world and only finding PvE flagged players and no one to fight. So
Yes.
that's why I quit New Worlds myself.
Yeah.
I never played Guild Wars 2. However, I never tried it.
Yeah, Guild Wars 2 is definitely like, oh, I would say was a good PvP game. It just I said it's not as good nowadays. It's at least that's my opinion. I just don't like, the way the game went. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now about the Warhammer server. The Warhammer server has gone through a lot of changes over the years, and most recently we've had a city change. Are you a city player?
and no, not anymore. I mean, I never was at the first place. I'm not a huge fan of City the way it is. But I mean, I know people like it. I personally don't, and I don't have to do it. So I'm just like, if people want to do it, that's good. But I prefer not to.
So when city happens, do you just stay out in the open RVR and do that and queue for scenarios, or what do you do?
Yeah, usually just since they changed the fact that the open RVR still you don't have to do the wait anymore. It was it was like 10-15 minutes before raid. Now there's no wait time anymore, so it just stay in the RVR, do that, or the scenarios if they pop. It's like hard. I feel like it's sometimes hard to get like scenario pop during the city though.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, depending on when the city happens, time of day, it can be really hard to get a pop, especially if you're like in a level 40 character. I think maybe tier 3, tier 2 may be a little bit easier.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, now what about the changes to the currency changes? What do you like the change of the currency, or do you prefer the old system?
I honestly am. I would not say a huge fan of the new currency, but I think it's a good change whatsoever. Just because it actually requires people to play. It's not just like, okay, I'm gonna just go just join warband and just like run around like a headless chicken doing totally nothing and get rewards. You actually have to start contributing. And what's the best part now? The currency actually drops from the kills, so I think it actually makes people to hopefully fight more because you get way more from actually killing people. And it just like should hopefully make people want to be a little bit more organized and like try to do stuff instead of just like AFK in the war camps and hope the zone's gonna lock and get the rewards.
Do you think it's actually made that change, or do you just wish that would happen? Because I personally don't see a change in the community myself.
uh, yeah, I don't think it really, I mean, it's kind of hard to say because I don't know, like there is always gonna be punk war bands that don't care. I think some people might try to lead. The problem is puck is a puck. Like if they don't want to listen to it, they will not listen to it anyways. So it's hard. I mean, it just depends on people if they want to try to get better or not.
Okay, I agree with that. Do you play Order or just only Destro?
So I do have some other characters. Actually tried to play other yesterday, but um, it wasn't really working out too good. Like I like to have a side on like both sides to see like like what people say and stuff. But I was it was it was kind of interesting experience yesterday from what I saw on order, and I was like, I cannot do this. This is like nah, I can. That was like not a good experience for me.
Okay, we're gonna delve more into this one now. So just because I want to get your opinion on the two different sides. So, in your opinion, is Destro more of an organized, some would say try hard faction, and Order is more of a casual faction?
I I guess it depends who is online really, because I think Order has a lot of good pugmenders or like warband leaders who actually try to get like organized warbands going, and they are actually pretty good to fight, and they try to make a difference. But like for example, yesterday I joined a warband and we were starting to lose, which is fine. I mean, you lose, but people start to like complain, but they didn't complain about Destro. They were complaining about each other, and they just started to fight with each other for no reason. I was like, why do you care? I mean, it's a game. Like, yeah, we gonna lose, but wouldn't for me when I lose, I drive. I'll be like, oh my god, I wanna go and be better. People just like no, let's just leave. I mean, you suck, you suck, you suck, you know? And it's like, why you like that? I mean, it's not gonna fix the problem. It's just like, no, no, you suck. Stop talking. You're doing this or that. I was like, okay. Destro, I mean, Destro's the same way in a way.
The pack.
I mean, I never really saw Destro talking like this to each other, really. But I mean, I think both sides has the same kind of mentality in a way. I said it really depends who is around because like you can have war bands on Destro, they are organized, beating on the pack groups that does running around, but you can have order organized war bands that just doing the same thing. So it really depends, like on who gets online, who's gonna try.
Definitely. I mean, I agree with the perspective of, when you have a pre-made warband or an organized warband. I don't want to say pre-made, but an organized warband on one side, you certainly can see, either Order or Destro, whichever one has it, kind of dominate the pugs. But I would certainly say, from my personal experience, and maybe this is an Order bias point of view, since I am mostly an Order player, that Order tends to give up a lot sooner or a lot faster than Destro does. Do you have any experience or insight if you agree or disagree with that sentiment?
I mean, let's be honest, Slayers and their train. I met so many Slayer trains that I didn't even get to like see a daylight ever. Like they just run to you and you die instantly. But once again, it depends, Like I don't necessarily think Order dies
Not
faster
really
or
heck, not really
Destro
heck.
dies faster. I guess it just depends who gets better bomb, really. Because I mean, I saw people dying to like I saw even like organized weapons dying to attacks, but I just think they got luckier of it the way the damage was put out. So I would not say that the one side dies faster than the other. I think it just depends.
Okay, okay. I personally, I just think Order tends to give up a lot sooner than Destro does, but that could be, my bias point of view, and me seeing, Order complain like you were talking about. Order does seem to complain a lot and whine a lot, so that could be my own personal bias, seeing that.
Yeah, like I mean Destro quits too fast, but I said really it depends. Like I saw warbands that die once and literally log off and be like, okay, Order has too many, we're not fighting anymore. But there's warbands as well who say, okay, let's go back and let's try again. So we just need more people like that. It's like, okay, let's try again. I mean, it's a game. Who cares if you lose? Like get better if you just quit and come back the other day when the numbers are in your favor. But just go and get better as a player, and that way you can finally be like, okay, we can beat these guys, let's do it. Like even if you get 1-2 kills, if you I always feel like as long as I have somebody to die with me from the other faction, I'm happy. Because at least I didn't die alone. At least I took somebody with me, kind of feel.
Oh, definitely. I had that feeling yesterday, but I have that feeling every single day. In fact, I had an experience yesterday where a marauder and a shaman chased me in a big ocean area and killed me. It felt tremendous.
I know they must have stream snipe. I
Yeah,
honestly I can't even imagine like how could they find you behind the keep like that, honestly.
exactly. Now, in regards, a kind of different topic here. In regards to the currency change, do you like how the currency change is, that you can now earn the same currency in a scenario and in open RVR, or do you prefer to have it separate?
I honestly don't mind it because I understand a lot of people are not huge fans of doing the scenarios, so it gives them the option to do what they like if they do like RVR better. I don't mind doing scenarios, but I'm not like huge fan of doing them unless I have at least one more person with me. I don't solo pack them because I know that can become a very brutal experience. So I understand that people tend not to do them if they don't have to. I think it's a good change because in the end, you still do what you need to do, and that's doing PvP. But you can do whatever you want to obtain what you need to get.
Definitely. I mean, I think it gives players choices, and it gives options. If let's say if open RVR is being zerged by, let's say, Order, and but you still want to earn crests, you still want to earn renown, it gives that Destro player, instead of just getting run over constantly, an option to hopefully get scenarios and get, hopefully more even fights. I would hope.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, now are you currently leveling an order tune, or do you have a level 40 order tune?
So I was trying to level up White Lion. I was leveling in Choppa as well
Or
because I
any?
just wanted to see like if you make a new character, how hard it is to actually obtain the tokens. Oh, actually, it's Crest. So I wanted to see how hard it actually is if you are a new player. But surprisingly, it's way easier than I thought it's gonna be. So I was actually impressed with it, and I honestly have a feel that it might get nerfed a little bit because I just feel like you might be getting way too much crests. So, but we'll see. So far, I think it's fairly easy to obtain your gear.
That's exactly why I'm doing on my choppas. I'm doing it from a new player experience. Trying to see how how hard it is to level up and how hard it is to get crest and get gear. That's exactly what I'm doing as well.
Nice.
Now, are you doing it from a brand new player experience that has no help, or is your guildies helping you with like a pre-made setup where you're running around like a 2, 3, 4 man and doing it that way?
So I do my White Lion mostly alone. That's why I joined the warband yesterday to see if I can get some levels whatsoever. But since we end up like just fighting between each other, like I was like, okay, I guess it's time to go back on Destra because I'm not gonna get anything out of this. So I was like, okay, yeah. But on my Choppa, I tend to play with my guild just because we have a lower levels. So that's a little bit different. But my White Lion is pretty much a solo.
Okay, okay. So from a new player experience so far, you find that it's pretty easy or pretty fast, and you expect it to be nerfed, correct?
Yes, I think especially like I don't know if it's just like tier 4, but I feel like there's like way many crests dropping from the kills. So I don't know if they're gonna keep it that way or if they're gonna nerf it. We will see.
What would you like it to look like in your opinion? How many crests per kill would you like to see dropped?
Oh no, I like the way it is. I think it's awesome because it feels like or maybe it just feels like you're getting the crest faster. I just don't know if they're gonna keep it this way or if they're gonna nerf it a little bit because they might feel like, oh my god, people getting gear way too fast.
Okay, what about renown earning? People have told me that they're outpacing their gear and they're getting renown too fast. Do you find that to be an issue, or do you think earning renown is at a good steady rate?
I think Renown was always in a good place. I mean, it's gonna slow down. We all know it. It's gonna slow down like way fast. So honestly, I think like the main goal is to get to 40 and get at least the 40, 50 Renown. Depends on what gear you're looking for. And after that, it just slows down. I just don't think it goes fast after like the 60, 70 kind of. So I think where it is, it's fine. I don't really see people complaining about getting Reno rank too fast or like too slow. So I think it's in good pace.
Okay. Is there any changes that you would like to see implemented that theoretically speaking, let's say you could actually make something happen and you had the power to do something, what would you like to see changed?
Well, I would say it's the X roaming. I think assuming everybody's gonna say X roaming, I think that's probably the biggest issue in this game. It would be nice if the X roam was not happening, but I understand why is it in the game. It just sucks because like when the one side starts losing, they go to the winning side, and then the numbers just go all around, and just just go looking at the Zerg Fest eventually.
Would you be in favor of some sort of, let's say, percentage cap on the dominating side? Let's say if you wanted to log in and let's say order had 60% population bonus or population, would you be in favor of some sort of cap where you said, okay, now you have to play Destro or you don't log in the server, or do you not like something like that?
Well, it's hard because not everybody's playing both sides. So now it's like not going in favor to the people who just play one side, like people who play just order and now they cannot log into the order. So they
Mhm.
will be like, okay, why should I play this game if I cannot play the faction I want to play anymore? So I don't know if it's just like, maybe increase the time, maybe, or I don't know. I personally don't X Realm really, so I don't know why people do it. But I guess I understand in a way. I don't know. I don't know about the lock-in population. I don't know. I don't think I said I don't think it's gonna be in the favor for people who strictly play just one faction, you know.
Okay, so you're not in favor of like a population lock, but you would be in favor of something like a log timer increase, so you couldn't swap sides.
Yeah. Like I feel like, 90 minutes, I think currently it's 90 minutes. I mean, and that's from the first kill or first PvP incur you get. So I mean, in that way, like then it's not a long time. So you can be winning until first, then you start losing. So you're like, okay, my timer's off, so I'm just gonna go ahead and switch because we are losing now. I don't know, it's kind of hard to say because I would say, okay, maybe a day lockout would be good, but I understand not everybody wants to play just one side for a day. So, I mean, it's hard, really. It's gonna be hard to find like the good balance between these two. Extreming is a thing. I don't think it's gonna change. I wish it would be something that would change, but I don't see it really happening.
Yeah, no, I agree. I understand what you're saying, and I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's anything that the devs could do that the players wouldn't figure out a way of getting around anyway. So even if you did some sort of, let's say, a 24-hour timer, well, there's nothing stopping them from creating a second account or using a VPN service or things like that. I think it has to come more from the players to not wanting to do it, and I don't really see that happening, me personally.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either. But that's just, people like to win. I mean, obviously I like to win too, but I just don't know if I would go to that extent just to be switching sides just, to get my wins. But how you said it just depends on the players. I mean, I don't know. It's I don't really see like big change from this.
Okay. Now, do you see the weekly RVR things to be a good thing or a bad thing, in your
Uh,
opinion?
It definitely brings more Zark into the game. I feel like it's just I think this is the reason why it's so one-sided now. Like always, it's always like either a lot of order or a lot of destroy, just because I don't necessarily think that RVR weekly is a good thing. I just think they should change to what it should be. I just don't think like capping keeps or doing the forts should be a thing. I think it should be like strictly kills, maybe capping BOs, but it's just like implementing people to like, okay, let's just zerg zones down so we can push forward so we can get our weekly done. I would just like increase like, okay, let's kill 1,000 people for the week, and like kept 10 BOs, 20 BOs, whatever. I just would take the forts and keeps out of it, to be honest.
So you would like it to be more actual fighting and less PV attributes like keep takes and fort takes.
Yeah, because I honestly really think it just really makes people to want to be like, okay, let's just push the zone. We want the keep, and out of the nowhere you have 30 other people who are like, yeah, let's just push, 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 and then you just push in, and out of nowhere you just PV dooring. Because nobody cares about the fights at this point because everybody just wants to take the keep or take the fort, and take the keep again, and it's like, well, when does it stop? It's just like keeps, and it's like, I don't know. I just like fights. I just like to fight. That's all.
I understand, and I'm right there with you. I basically have the same mindset as you. Now, again, do you think the devs can do anything to change that mentality, or do you think it's 100% player choice?
Uh, I mean, I mean, I think if you think about it, the main point in this game is to take keeps and forts. So I mean, I understand why is it in the games. I just wish people would care less about taking keeps and forts, but like with the exactly with the things like the RVR week, it just implements people to want to do that more, because it's just like, okay, if I do it, I get my rewards. It's just like push people more to like doing the PV doors. So, but yeah, I feel like if they would like add it more like, okay, kill objectives, it might get a little bit better. I think because people will actually want to go fight more.
No, I mean I can see where you're coming from. I mean, if you made it where it was like kill 1,000 people in open RVR in a week, I guess you wouldn't be able to PvE zones because you'd have no one to kill. So you'd enforce the player base to say, okay, if you want to get your weeklies done, you have to actually fight each other. You can't just have 70% on one side and no one on the other side and just sit there and sit at a work camp and look at no one.
Yeah.
I'll use an example as just today only. When I logged in almost 2 hours ago, Order was pushing Troll Country. Order failed the Destro keep attack, and then it appears that almost majority of Order then all fled to Avalorn to try to PvE take the Avalorn keep, while Destro then took the Troll Country keep. So they're just trying to get their weekly Order was just trying to get their weekly done by PvE during a zone, but they failed anyway, so which is I think laughable.
Yeah, I noticed. Like, see, my biggest thing with these, like, I understand like when people like go to a different zone, to like avoid because there's like, okay, there's no point on defending this. Let's try a different zone. The problem I see with it is like, uh, I don't think people think that's true because if there's already like bigger group taking a keep, you will not make it for the other keep, and you're just giving a free bag to somebody else because you know they are gonna come defend. Especially if you have a 2 door and they have just 1 door, they're gonna come defend. So at this point, you're just giving them a free bag, you know.
I
But
agree.
I mean, I said I understand. I understand why people do it because they wanna try to avoid the fight because they think they cannot win. But you don't know you cannot win if you don't try. So
I'm right there with you. I wish you played Order more often.
yeah, I wish I tried. I just can't. Man.
Okay, so besides the city changes and besides the changes of the Warcrest, have you tried Land of the Dead?
Yes.
Okay, what is your opinion of Land of the Dead? I have not been there yet.
It's a Zerg fest, definitely Zerg fest. I mean, they try to implement a debuff, which doesn't really do anything, in my opinion. But I mean, I did it just once because I wasn't able to get to the last one, and I honestly, it really felt like Destro's super dominating in here. I don't know why it was. I don't know. It like we just like stomped order when so but I just really think it's just really just like Zerg from the point to point to point, eventually get a fight, and whoever
Mm-hmm.
vibes first stops playing kind of feel to it.
Yeah, no, I like I said, I've never been there, but I heard the same thing that Order was just dominated and basically was zerged into the ground.
Yeah. It came to that point that it's not even a fun in a way. So
I'll bring our camera back as soon as our commercial's over with. Now, kind of going back to something, somebody actually made a comment in my stream about Order leaders and how people like yourself will try to play Order and then they get pushed away because they don't like the Order mentality or how Order players play, and so they go back to Destro. Do you think that is ultimately going to be the demise of the game in general, or just a short-term issue?
I mean, I like honestly, my biggest thing, I don't know why Aura is the way they are. Because I said I don't know. I don't really play Order, so I don't know what led to Order be this way, to like be really like, I don't want to say mean, but like really complain and whining and like to each other. Like they literally blame each other, and I don't understand why is that. I don't know what happened to Order that it came to this point. So it's kind of hard to say why that happened. I don't know. You tell me, why is Order this way?
Well, I don't have an answer why Order is that way. I mean, I complain about Order every single day, 5 days a week when I stream, and I complain about Order mentality for years, and it's never changed in my opinion. But we're interviewing you. We're not interviewing me.
Okay. God dang it. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I tried play order, and it just, I don't know. It just, I feel like I got like super old. Like I feel like it sucked the life out of me, because I was just like, instead of fighting, we were just standing in the keep talking shit to each other for no reason. Just because one of the guy was using oil too soon, or he went to rest somebody who, was too far, and it's like, okay, I mean, all right. I mean, I guess I don't know. It was just really weird. It was really weird experience. I cannot really say I did experience something like that on Destro, really.
Okay. Well, we'll quit the Order bash. Um, I'm teasing. So now, besides just the Warcrest change, the Land of the Dead change, and also the city changes, Is there anything that you would like to see added to the game that maybe we had on live? I know you didn't have any personal experience, but something that you've been told that you'd like to see here that we don't have.
You know what I would really like to experience? I just heard about it. It's like about the dungeons takeover. Because like I hate doing PvE, but sometimes we do need to. I just would like to just take somebody's progress in the dungeon. I think that would be so cool if you just run to the dungeon and just kill everybody and take over the dungeon. It would be so nice to try. I just would want to experience it, to see how it was.
So, what do you mean by take over a dungeon? You mean like PvP take over a dungeon?
Yeah, from what I heard, I think it was the Land of the Dead dungeon that you could go
Okay.
inside where the other faction was in and you could kill them and take the dungeon and finish the dungeon for the rewards on your own.
Yeah, my understanding again is that Land of the Dead is more of just a big scenario. It's not really what it was on live. On live, yes, it was more of an open world PvP where you can kind of gain access, then basically hunt your enemies and kick them out and take it over and own the zone.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be a much better system than that. And is there anything else that you would like to see this game implement, or how about a third faction? Would you be in favor of a third faction if possible?
I just don't think this server has enough population to like actually filter faction, or it would be like the flavor of the month, and everybody would go there, and then the other faction would not have anything. So it is hard to say. I mean, new classes would be fun. I think like something new, something refreshing. I don't know about the new faction though. I think that would be just too much.
Okay, so a third faction you don't really see as being any type of solution for a population balance if they created one.
I don't think so necessarily because I feel like everybody would want to play it. So in the end, it would be the most dominated side. I mean, that's my opinion. Maybe it would not happen, but people when something new happens, everybody wants to try it out. Everybody wants to play it. So everybody hops on the train and everybody just doing it. So that's my only thing I'm worried about if they would edit another faction.
Okay. Now, what about, do you main a Marauder or do you play other classes on Destro?
Well, I tried play other characters, and I just love Marauder too much to like play anything else. I have my second highest. I think it's a shaman at like level 20s,
Ugh,
and it's just yeah no.
you could just delete the shaman.
I have like four of them.
You have four
I,
shamans.
I have four shamans just because like we always help in like when we get like new players we help them like in the scenarios on RVR in like different tiers. So it's just levels from the level 1 from the tier 1 and it stuck in the tier 2 at level 20. Because that's it. I just don't use it afterwards.
Oh my god, four
Yeah.
shamans.
Yeah.
So nothing else that you actually play besides your Marauder, just the Marauder in a pre-made, or do you solo the Marauder?
I am horrible solo player. I will not even lie. I cannot kill shit on my own. Not even gonna lie about it. I try, but I usually get outplayed very, very badly. It's still a work in progress. I think eventually, the more I play, hopefully, it's gonna get better. Hopefully, that's the right word. Hopefully, but I am more of a team player over a solo player. I was never really good in solo play, so um I do like small scale over like doing a full war bands. But it's I would say it's a work in progress to get better as a player in the solo.
You only get better by doing it.
Yeah.
And even if you get better, I mean, you're still gonna lose fights. You're still gonna get run over. It's just part of the game.
Yeah, well the thing is I don't think this game is necessarily made for like solo players. It just don't uh, it's not in a favor for solo players. That's what I would say to it. Because even if you get 1v1, you eventually get, 1v2, 1v3, 1v4 out of the nowhere. There's a warband singing you down. So I think that's what turns off a lot of people as well for that.
Well, I mean, I agree with you that if you're even, I mean, that's the same rule. Even if you do like 2 man or 3 man, if you do like small man gameplay, you're always gonna have the warbands find you and run you over.
Yeah.
I think you get better by learning how to play the catch back lines, catch stragglers, map navigation, where to hide, how to ambush, things like that.
Yeah, definitely.
But this game certainly is not balanced around solo gameplay, so you're always gonna be dominated by certain classes no matter what you do.
Yes, I agree
Like
with that.
like shamans
Or AMs.
or shamans
Or AMs.
or shamans.
Or AMs.
Both of them, I agree.
I can just tell your perspective from a desktop player. Archmages are brutal. Like they are brutal. I cannot even get to Archmage before I die. Then they use their more one shield for like 4,000 absorb, and I am dead. Because like it's like okay, see ya. It's like okay, thanks. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me over.
Yeah, it's no different than chasing a shaman who can run faster than your mount is, and you can't catch him.
Yep,
They're both
they are
obscene.
both very strong. Yes.
Okay, so on your Marauder, and you said you like small man gameplay. When you say small man, is it like 3 man? Is it like 6 man? How do you like to play it?
I do like anything from 2 to 6 for like a small scale. My goal for like NA time zone, we do like more of warband kind of 12 to 18 men. That's our goal. But like for EU, I like to do like like 2 to 6 depends. Usually who is online or who wants to play and stuff like that. So I'm open to anything really.
Okay, so you just like to stream snipe and Zerg. That's all you like to do
Yeah, I just like to find slayers which are in the water, you know,
with a shaman as a healer.
with a shaman as a healer. Yeah.
Yeah, I see a trend here. Okay, so now did you get to watch the AMA with Max Heyman?
Yes.
Okay, I know you probably don't want to say any criticism, but what is your takeaway from the AMA? Did you learn anything? Anything positive or negative?
He was not really telling us anything we didn't know yet. So it was like he was really like uh how you say it, like fogging everything. Like he said like okay we're planning to, but he'd never ever said like okay what they planning to, so it's like he didn't really tell us too much. He like just implied like there might be something happening, but just like kept us in the shadows, doesn't really tell us what's gonna happen.
So, what would you like to see happen then? Again, if you had the powers, if you had the power to say this is going to be implemented, what change would you like to see?
I would definitely think like it would definitely see like some kind of a balance in the within the classes, like how you said, orders thing. Destro characters are overpowered. As a Destro character, I think a lot of order characters are overpowered. So but it's again that's gonna be a biased kind of um a talk, because I feel like certain classes on order are strong and need to be nerfed. You guys think the same thing about the Destro. So it definitely feel like some kind of balance would be nice. I would definitely want to see like some more, maybe a new zone strictly, like deathmatch zones, more kind of just like kill focused zones, maybe even scenarios which are more on. I just hate scenarios with like okay go pick up a bomb, run it, or run to the flag, kept the flag. I don't like to do it. I like to go kill people. I would like more deathmatch kind of scenarios or RVR options and stuff like that.
So, you want less objective based scenarios and more of a just kill player scenarios.
Yes, that would be
Now,
nice.
one would say that the objective based scenarios allow a less organized side to maybe still win because they can potentially, let's say, PvE their way to a win instead of just getting camped at a war camp. Do you agree with that or disagree with that?
I mean, I guess it makes sense. My biggest problem is like I don't like the changes they make to the BO objective. I don't know, like I think it was like 2 weeks ago. The Prague scenario was a scenario of the for the weekend. I just don't like the way they changed the way you kept the BOs anymore, because now you can just stack whoever stacks more players on the flag gets the cap. I like it the fact when you could actually physically cap the flag, and like make strategy games depending on that. Because now, even if you cap, you don't have time to run towards the other flag because they're already stacking on it and capping it. I just wish they would just leave it the way it was, because I just don't like the like just like okay, more people on the flag but cap the BO. It's kind of weird.
Well, do you think the old way was changed because, let's say, for example, since Destro is usually more tank heavy, as an example, from an order bias point of view, that you could just throw 2 or 3 BOs like Black Orcs on the flag and they would just stand there and you couldn't kill them, so you could never retake that flag. Whereas you could just put 4 order on the flag and you would be able to take the flag back that way because you have more people on it. Do you not like that new system? Is that why?
It's just I don't know. It's just like I feel like whoever gets the first like kill of the game, like whoever wipes the other group first, it's pretty much the one who's gonna win, you know? Because in the end it's just like that's what it come down to, because then they just can't stay on that flag and it's never gonna move unless you know you counter push them, hopefully. But I don't know. I am just not a big fan because once again, I just feel like it influenced more people stacking together and zerging together instead of like being a smart place. Like you kite people away while somebody else is capping the flag. I don't know. I just like the old system better.
Okay. Do you prefer to do the open RVR roaming system, or would you like to actually do more scenario instanced content like scenario fighting?
I mean, I don't mind doing scenarios. It's just like because we usually have more than 6 people around, so we usually tend to do RVR more. If we do scenarios, it's usually tier 2, tier 3, because I think tier 4 scenarios are not as fun. I think the mid tier scenarios are the most fun. Um, I would definitely want to see like I just want a zone when you can just go in, like you just can like bang on each other, kill each other like over and over and over and over again without like anything like worrying about, okay, it's like there's like a siege coming on you, or something like that.
I think that zone's called Calidor.
Yeah, that might be that. Yes,
Every
the
time
bridge.
Calidor's popped, people just stand on a bridge and fight for 3 hours.
Yeah, the bridge is too strong. Bridge is too strong.
Okay. So that's the only change that you would like to implement if you had the powers of God, would be to make that change. Nothing else?
Mm, I don't necessarily think so. I don't think this game has like way too many flaws, or I cannot at least think of anything like else I would like to change so far. Because I don't think this game has like a bad system. It's just like I think it's just the little things that might need. But that's a personal preference for myself. What I would like to get fixed. Um, so I don't think I would necessarily edit anything new. Like I said, like just like something new, some new maps or something would be like made me happy.
Okay. And talking about the destro bias or slash order bias of people have, do you generally feel that balance overall is better now than it was, let's say, a year or two ago, or do you think balance has been worse now than it has a year or two ago?
I mean, this is gonna be hard to say because I feel like certain classes like got better than they were, but I think certain classes got worse as well. Like, I think they trying hard, but they always like I feel like there's always that one or two skills that just gets better. It's just like making the class a little bit better. For example, like I would say, like even like the shadow warriors and the squig herders, like they have the festering arrow, and it's just like it hurts. And I know it's supposed to be hurting, but I just feel like it might need a little bit of a nerf. But that's a personal that's just like me as a marauder. Like I hate this skill, with a passion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure somebody would say that the Marauder pull is just as bad.
Oh no, if you wanna go that far, okay, fetch versus a pull of Marauder. Okay, we can go there. I'm ready. So
I don't know. I don't know. Nothing like getting pulled into a
nah,
warband.
I just wish they would make the pull a little better, because I mean fetch is 100% pull, really, even through the walls. We don't really Marauder doesn't really have that. I mean, you can pull people off the walls, but like anything uphill, downhill, it's just not working too well for Marauders.
Is there anything that you feel that the Marauder needs or used to have that no longer has, or do you think the Marauder is in a good position?
Me personally, I mean, yeah, just give me more damage. Yeah, I want to hit harder than I already do. Uh, that I honestly don't think Marauder is in a bad position. I think there's definitely stuff that can be better, but I think Marauder does decent damage. And even like doesn't matter if you play a single target spec, debuff spec, or the AOE spec, they both are decent. Obviously, they are like the AoE spec's not better than Sorg's AoE or a Choppa AoE, but it has the play in warbands or even like smaller scale. And I don't necessarily think it necessarily needs like a huge upgrade whatsoever. I think it's in a good spot where it is. But some people might disagree, saying that Marauder is too strong. I have no clue. You tell me. I feel like I can kill some people I cannot. So it depends really.
Is your Marauder best in slot in all of its gear, or are you still working on gear?
I am best in slot at this point. It's just a user problem. It's it's just a user problem at this point. So yeah. So
So
yeah, I
it's
don't have the excuse anymore saying okay it's the gear fault and now it's just my fault.
so it's as what Destro would say, learn to play, get good issue.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. So really there's not really a lot of changes that you see that you would like to have implemented in the game or even on a class level. I,
For like Marauder, no. I think some classes might need a little bit like tweaking, but I cannot tell you like exactly what. I just like from what I hear from people, they wish they would have like some changes. But like if you think about like when they do the mirrors characters, people say okay, Knight is better than Chosen. Some people say Chosen's better than Knight. So it just comes to really like what people see. What people once again, it's the Order versus Destro. Destro thinks Knight is better, Order thinks maybe Chosen's better. I don't know if they think that,
yeah,
but
I think we're at a spot right now where the player base says whatever class they play needs a buff and whatever class they fight against needs a nerf.
yeah,
That's where it's at.
yeah, I
Every
think so.
everybody wants to have a god class that can kill everybody and die to nothing.
Yeah, preferably I would want to just look at you and you would die, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. And I think that's exactly what everybody wants. They just want to be able to hit one button and destroy everybody, and then say, "Okay, I'm the greatest."
Yeah, that would make my life so much nicer. Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, I think that's called a shaman.
Or AM, yes.
Okay, so now going kind of back to your content creation, what is your YouTube channel so we can kind of link that and kind of give it some love and share that.
That's a good question. You caught me there.
You
I have
don't
to,
you don't you don't you don't know your YouTube channel?
I wasn't sure how I read it. It's called Wiggles. I wasn't sure if it's a wiggle or Wiggles. So it's Wiggles. But if you search it, it pops out some kind of kid shows. I don't know what happened over there. I can send you the link though.
Yeah, go ahead, grab the link and throw it in the Discord so I can go ahead and share it. So we can go ahead and get it, give it some love. I'm sure if it needs love, I don't know, maybe you're a super YouTuber. I don't know.
Totally, yeah, totally super YouTuber. Super, super, super.
And your Twitch name? What is your Twitch channel's name?
It's called Cruister Wiggle, but it might change. I don't know if I like the Cruister part, to be honest.
What? Why do you not the Cruister part? Why don't you
I
like it?
don't know. I feel like I'm just like forcing myself to the guild. What if I wanna leave this guild ever? You don't know what's gonna happen.
Is your guild name Cruister? Is that why you have the Cruister?
Nah, it's called crew. We have a wrecking crew. We have wrecking crew on Order, and we have a crew on Destro, which we, which I guess wrecking crew was original Return of Reckoning guild. That the guild leader that have the guild get it passed from the people who were playing it before, so he just kept their name, and we used it pretty much in any game went to. We used either crew or wrecking crew, and it just kind of stick with us. And we usually use a Crewster as a rank, if you are like a member, so that's why Crewster Wiggle.
Awesome. Okay. So cruise to Wiggle and go ahead and search for your Twitch channel that way. I will certainly go ahead and link your channel in my chat so
I
my
put
viewers
it
can view you.
into your channel on Discord.
Okay. No, we'll certainly go ahead and try to give you a shout out and things like that. Besides YouTube and Twitch, is there any other hobbies that you're into that you can kind of share, like, art, something like that, or no?
Yeah, my art skills are horrible. I like to show people like how my drawing skills. I can draw a house with which looks like a square with a triangle on top. I like to show that to people. People have for some reason fun with that. Um, I am like the best singer around as well. So if you even ever wanna get deaf, make sure you check my stream. Yeah, shout out to myself. Thank you.
I'm sure if somebody watched your stream, they'd be watching you watch another streamer, right?
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll wrap it up here shortly so that we can get back to your killing and things of that nature. I do have one question from my viewers. It is a little bit of a personal question, so if you don't want to answer it, you can just say I don't want to answer it. But that is, why did you move to United States? What made you move here?
I honestly didn't want to. It just sort of happened. Like I always hated United States. It sounds horrible talking about it, but like I always, when I was younger, I would say if there is one country I don't ever want to live, it's United States, and it just sort of happened. And I'm here now.
Has it,
I was promised a big house and a dog and a lot of money, and it never happened. The commercials are lying to you guys. It's not true. It's not true. They will not give you a house or a dog or a good life. They are lying about that one.
so has your opinion changed at all, or no?
It's different, you know. Like there is some stuff and I feel like, oh my god, this is so cool, and there's a lot of stuff that I feel like are like, oh my god, why, you know. But I cannot say I have a bad life here. It's just different. It's just different in a way. Like I am like in my country, like I'm from a big city, and it's like I was used to walk everywhere. Like, or we have a good public transportation. Here is like unless you have a car, you screwed pretty much. It's like I don't know. It's just like some stuff are like really weird to me personally.
Well, let's delve into this for a few minutes here now, since I'm an American.
Uh oh.
If you didn't know,
Uh oh.
I've never been outside of the United States myself, so I can't really compare America to anything else. Um, but I would say that, from my point of view, Americans are more individualistic and a little bit more on the, I want a car for my own needs and not really rely on public transportation. Is that how you see it, or do you not how you see it?
I feel okay. I don't want to sound like rude. I feel like a lot of Americans are super lazy in here, and it's not lazy. It's just more being comfortable with like even if there is a store on the corner, they will still take a car instead of walking. So I go to like when I go to like the store, which is literally like 5 minutes, by the main road from where I live. I have people tell me I could have give you a ride. I was like, why would you give me a ride? It's literally 5 minutes away if you walk. Yeah, but with the car it's 2 minutes. It's like, yeah, but you walk in there. It's like not like it takes the same time, and I'm saving gas, and I'm on the air, and I'm exercising. Like why would you just take the car in there? It's like it's literally down the road.
Fair point. Fair point. I would probably agree that Americans are, like you said, comfortable. They like to have the easier life, kind of like a shaman in a way. Easy. Not have to struggle, not to worry about anything. Be very, everything handed to them. Kind of like a shaman.
Yeah, sounds like an AM. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to let you go, Wiggles. I appreciate you stopping by, giving us an hour of your time. You can go ahead and get back to killing. Is there anything that you would like to say? Anything you would like to plug, announce, or advertise?
I will just say this. I am better than Tushikada, so come please check my stream. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Fair enough. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I am kidding.
Appreciate your time, Wiggles, and you have a great rest of your day.
No, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I hope you had a good time, and thank you as well.
Yeah, have a good one.
Bye bye.